Hello,
Ace.
everybody. Welcome to the Smoking and Joking Show. I am your host, Theophilus Tor, subbing in for Anthony Charpentier Jr., also subbing in for Demarcus Reed and Ralphine Kanai. All our hosts, for some reason, are on vacation. Um, and not Anthony. Anthony is on, he's voluntold to go on vacation because he's dealing with the storm. So send more than thoughts and prayers. Send my big bro some money and send my big bro at least hearts on social media. So today we got a very special show for you. We got Mr. Kurt Mitchell today, and he is a heavy metal god, as they say. Been doing it for a long time, and it's our goal today's show to rock the fook out of y'all. Um, Kurt is a Colorado resident, and he is also a grower too. One of my favorite, my favorite people are growers. As y'all know, this smoking and joke is smoking if you got it. I definitely partake in my dubage daily. Shout out to moms. Shout out to having a Jamaican mom. Um, and again, guys, I'm not the host. We have made all of us. There's a team that goes on behind this. You know, Bob, Roy Thomas, Christopher McIntosh. The list goes on and on of the people that contribute to making the show come on. And we dedicate to 100 episodes at least. So I'm just here doing my job. Bob's a big bro. He told me, hey, show up. So I show up. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic over to Kurt Mitchell, aka Venom, just so you can briefly introduce yourself, and then we'll get right into the questions. Is that cool?
It's actually really good to be here. I'm glad to be glad to be with you, man. So, oh yeah. So first off, let's go ahead and I brought a little special something for the occasion. So let's spark this up. Uh,
Pass it through the screen, man. Pass it through the
right?
screen.
But so I am Kurtz. Venom, I usually go by stage name and what have you. Yeah, man, Colorado, Denver resident my whole life. Been in the music scene for quite a few years now. Been growing for a long time before it was even legal in the state, But yeah, it's been good, ups and downs, but always staying busy. I'm in the band Condemned to Burn. I got a YouTube channel, Venom 420. If you guys want to check that out, give it a like. And then I run it's kind of an entertainment studio, but it's a recording studio, music videos, stuff like that called Razorwind. Uh, Razorwind Records, Razorwind Entertainments. Shooting local people, recording locally and stuff like that. So finally got my own place and my own studio. So, and then we have the Grove Room. So, that's always good too. So, but
Yo,
I'm
I'm
very
not.
happy to be on here, man.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Um, I smoke daily. I schmiddoke daily. So I'm definitely excited to talk to you. I was telling so yesterday, when we met and everything, Bob basically told me, "Hey, Tor, I don't get to talk to a lot of guests, and I love metal, so you're just gonna shut up while I ask questions." So that's why I was so quiet yesterday. For those that y'all that don't know, Bob is my senior Marine. Having a senior Marine is kind of like having a big brother. So when your big brother tells you to do something in the Marine Corps, you do it, yeah, without complaining. And then at the bottom of the screen, we got links. We got links to all of your contacts. Um,
Awesome.
so we'll have that running. We'll have that running back and forth while we talk. So I just want to get into the questions, Kurt, if that's cool with you. Oh, I'm gonna call you Venom because I
Of
love the name
course.
Venom. So if that's
I was
cool
gonna
with
say
you,
that that's the way to
I
go for
love
me
the
too, man.
I love the name Venom, and I love the name of bands and how bands got the name. Um, a girl that I dated, she told me that she was going to OBGYN and they told her that she had a long vagina but a short torso. And right away, I'm like, man, that'd be an awesome metal name. That'd be an awesome name for a metal band, long vagina, short torso. So, how'd you come up with your metal name? How'd you come to it?
So the Venom name in particular.
Yeah.
So this I've noticed this happen a lot with rappers, especially too, especially local areas and some metal guys. Uh, it started as
Mhm.
a gamer tag, video games back when the Xbox 360 and all that shit was just coming out. Uh, and even before then, you never want to put your own name on those things, so it's always Venom. Obviously a cartoon
Yeah.
thing, which now is blown up huge with the Marvel stuff. Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, in metal, I think the everyone's trying to out brutal each other, and have the most aggressive sounding name. So we had a bass player at the time who came up with the name Condemned to Burn. And it was just
Mm.
one that caught your ears. And it's that typical, you wouldn't think it's a jazz band, you know what I mean? Or
No,
something
no,
like
no.
that. So it screams what it is type thing. So, and then later on, so that was before I even joined the band, they had that name. And then when I joined the band, I feel like it started taking on more of a stoner meaning of condemned to burn. So we felt it really it fit well with our music because we have like a stoner thrash theme going on in our stuff. So
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. That's a dope ass name, Condemned to Burn, because I burn every day. So, Kurt, can you walk us through a little bit about like the history of heavy metal? Like what counts as heavy metal? How did it get started, and why is it such a popular genre for you?
yeah. Well, first off, I'll start with the last part of that. uh, I don't think it's the most popular genre by any means anymore, which is okay. Especially we do like an older like thrash kind of metal, kind of bring it back to earlier days. But what that does is it kind of weeds out people kind of doing it for the scene. There is a scene, but a lot of the people involved in it are doing it because that's what they like. It's not exactly like a ton of chicks and a great place to party and it's a good place to party, but you know what I mean? It has its own feeling to it. There's a lot of authenticity because again, the people who are involved in it aren't exactly into the new thing. It's an kind of an old school thing. That being said, I'd say it's evolved. I think one of the best things I have ever heard someone kind of describing metal is it's just like rock music, but instead of one foot going, there's 2 feet going with that
Hmm.
double bass drum the whole time. So it's kind of like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just double time, So, and now it's evolved into a crazy place where it's almost more like a lot of the metal producers are more like rap producers. When you see it on the computer,
Yeah.
they got beats and they got riffs, and it's kind of copy and paste and put together. Uh, so it's amazing how much, like I said, a lot of the metal producers now are doing the same thing as EDM producers or hip hop producers or all that. Um, it's become more accessible to everybody now, so which is good.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha. No, no, it is because short torso, long vagina. When they start touring, they're gonna start doing metal. Um, Kurt, tell me a little bit about your musical journey. Like, what were your influences? What got you into this genre of music?
so I was born in a very musical family. My parents were old school Deadheads and stuff, and would follow around the Dead and just hyper fans. My dad was very musical, so I grew up in it. But what
Mhm.
kind of made me do it? I like kind of theatrical stuff. So like, who was it? Alice Cooper. With all the theatrical,
Yeah,
the hangings and the guillotines. I always like that. And then it kind of evolved from that to like the Guars. Again, a lot of theatrics and dumb
yeah,
shit going on
yeah.
stage. Um, in to a point, Manson, although he's kind of fallen out in the last couple of decades, but when he was, it's that shock value that I really do appreciate, and I like bringing in a little more. I don't like to just get on stage and start singing. I like the people who give you a lot for your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Theatrics
yeah,
go a long way. So those are the guys, the Alice Coopers and the people like that. I would have to give a lot of. I saw that as a kid. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but that's what I
yeah.
want to be doing.
Bro, Guar, we was talking about Guar 3 episodes ago because we had a musician. He's like genre bending, so he does all type of genres. Mike, Matt Fink. Okay, so we lost Kurt temporarily. think he'll be right back. There he goes. Just there he goes. Kurt, we lost you
Am
temporarily.
I
I'm
still
glad you
there? Am I
back.
still going?
Yeah, you still there. You still there.
We got me
Yeah,
back?
man. Alex Cooper. Yeah, yeah. Alex Cooper
Yeah,
Bar.
yeah.
Yo, who's the guy that used to bite the heads off of bats? He had like a reality TV
Ozzy.
show and
Ozzy.
everything.
Yeah,
Ozzy
Ozzy. You
Osbourne.
still got
Yeah.
me? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I still
Okay.
got you. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
You
if I'm
still with us. You
freezing
still
up
with
on you
us.
now. Perfect.
Nah. So,
Yeah,
you
Ozzy, which
know,
yeah, yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't know that those were your influence. Most people say like Metallica or who else? People would say Black Sabbath. Do you count those as metal bands?
Yeah, definitely. So, and
Okay.
it's hard to define our band too. Nowadays, the biggest thing is like, to have some side genre. So it's always like they like putting the word core on everything. So there's hardcore, deathcore, slamcore, babycore. Just throw some random words and add the word core to it, and there's some metal genre that has been trying to branch off into it. Um, I'm not good
That's
at
dope.
genres, so I like just metal because it makes it saying like when we say what type of music do we play, I like just saying metal because it's so uh, all encompassing as opposed to kind of thrash. We're a black and thrash death core slam band. Everything's doing that though. I think that a lot of musicians realize that there's a big pool to swim in in a lot of these things. So if you make your own little pool, you can be a big fish.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If you create your own
Hmm.
genre, the new genre, you're automatically the top one in it. So
Hmm.
there's always new offshoots coming out. So, oh no,
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
looks like I might have
question?
lost you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
As far as like like you're saying people throw core on the end of everything, are there like metal purists that are like, nah, fuck that, nah, this is metal, that ain't metal, that like that guard like the mosh pits and like the slam dance and everything like that? Are there metal purists like the elitists of the metal world, or people pretty much they just say, hey, good music is good music, even if it's not exactly metal, we'll still accept it, or is it real like tribalistic group?
So what I've noticed is most of the people who are the elitist and stuff like that stay on the computer. You know what I mean? When you see people in life, everyone seems to
Mm.
be into all types of music. Everyone's super cool, but you get the keyboard warriors who say if you don't follow these rules and go exactly here, and yeah, unfortunately, there is a bit of biased and I think that's in all genres.
Mm.
Even if they're extremely close. I don't know EDM much, but I'm sure the jungle guys and the house guys and the dubstep guys all talk shit about each other in line. but when
Oh,
they go
hell
to a
yeah.
show, they probably just take a bunch of ecstasy. But I don't know if that's even still a thing
Hell
anymore. It's
yeah.
probably the new drug. So, but yeah,
Probably
I've
something
noticed that
weed.
for yeah, yeah. So
These kids was out here eating Tide Pods at one time, so they probably found something new by now. Oh, we're gonna read some comments real quick. We answered this question, but one of the producers on Smoking and Joking asked, "Hey Kurt, who is your biggest influences in metal growing up?" You already answered that. Um, we got Jamie. She shouting out Ozzy. Jamie High shouting out Ozzy, and she said regular metal and metalcore are not the same. She's emphatically stating that. So kind of like what you were saying.
see,
Do you slam
I'm like,
dance or jump in mosh pits?
so I like mosh pits. Uh, definitely I spent my teenage years in a mosh pit consistently. I still do,
Yeah.
and to a metal band, one of the biggest compliments a crowd can do is to mosh for us. Even, but I don't like the guys who go around doing the karate in the mosh pit. You see the videos of the guys doing fucking roundhouse kicks and shit like that.
Hmm.
That shit has. So that's a big slam band thing, slam dancing and all that. That's just not my
Hmm.
jam. And usually people like that get fucking stopped pretty quick in our types of mosh pits. Someone usually fucking isn't having that shit.
Okay.
I say no karate in the pit. You know,
No
save that shit
jujitsu in
for
the
the
pit.
save that for the dojo.
No martial art. Yeah, save it for the dojo. Right. I love that because I've seen those videos where someone's doing like a Ryu hurricane kick in a mosh pit and taking heads out. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, come on, man. This ain't the UFC, bro. Like, dial it down a little bit. Okay, so we got another question for
And
you.
there's no aim going on.
Um, there's no aim. Yeah, these guys are targeting. It's like football. They're targeting people. All right, so got another question for you. This has to do with like
Yes.
metal and cannabis synergy because I want to start asking you questions about growing and everything. I think that's pretty cool. As someone that partakes regularly in cannabis, I think that's very cool. And if you're a veteran out there, Smoking and Joking is an offering of Vet 365, the 501c3 nonprofit. Donate to the show, everybody that's looking at vet365.org. But if you're a veteran out there that went through combat, you know that the VA doctors, I don't know if it's a conspiracy or not, but they give you a cocktail of meds that's just dunning you and have you laying in bed 24/7, not moving. And I found that when it comes to medical cannabis, that actually does a whole lot better for PTSD and traumatic brain injuries than the cocktail that AstraZeneca will give the VA to give you. So I'm really interested to ask you this question, man. What's the connect between your passion for heavy metal and weed? How do those roles intersect?
Definitely. First off, on what you just said, I'd like to say that marijuana heals, chemicals
Hmm.
kill. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like so much love to what you just said there. But so
Yeah.
I've had people say that they don't take people serious who smoke weed and make music or do something creative because it's coming from a a doped up mind and it's not their originality or something like that. But I would be shocked to find many artists, especially throughout the 60s, who weren't intoxicated on something,
Right.
uh,
Right.
to
P
say the
P
least.
Funk.
I
P Funk was on LSD. Parliament was on
I
LSD. So
mean,
yeah.
so if you take away drugs from music, you don't have much music left over, at least, especially not the
Yeah.
foundations it was built on. But that being said, I think marijuana has a very special place just because I think it is a creative inducer. It helps you. It's catalyst more than anything. It's not
Hmm.
bringing in anything that isn't already there, but
Hmm.
and this is also kind of brings it back to the like PTSD type things and shit like that. One of the amazing properties is it kind of gives you tunnel vision on the mind. So instead
Hmm.
of thinking about 100 things, if you're ever driving or something, you're thinking about every bad fucking thing that happened yesterday, all the shit that might happen tomorrow, and it. What it seems to do is kind of put you in the moment a little bit more, especially when you're doing something creative. It gives you that mental tunnel vision that sometimes we need. Some people need to go up to the
Hmm.
mountains in a dark place and write by a campfire to get their special thoughts out. But we don't all have access to some fucking camp yard or even an awesome garden, which I'm
Hmm.
fortunate enough of. Sometimes smoking can give you that. Like video game, it does anything, and that's sometimes why I feel like it makes things better. It can make any event you're doing, it can feel better. But I think what it really does is it focuses some of your attention more on the item at hand, as opposed to, like I said, having these before and after thoughts. At least that's what it does for me, and it really helps with improvisational, bringing stuff out of the back of your mind, bringing the subconscious forward. I think is where the biggest connection between pot and music comes to me, off the top of my head. So, and it brings people
Bro, I,
together.
I love that. Yeah, because most of the time I tell people if you and me and a group of people is running, away from a vampire and a vampire bit me, y'all good. That vampire gonna be stuck for at least 2 hours because I schmiddle. Everybody knows I schmiddle. So,
Uh,
man, that's an outstanding question. We're gonna read some of these comments. Jamie said there is a random screen overlay on the screen. I do not see that, Jamie. Um, and she said, look like someone's sealing for the overlay. Do you see an overlay on our screen? She
not
said it's on the lower
offhand,
right hand side.
lower
On the
right, and
lower
it
right
looks like
hand
what?
side. She said it looks like someone's
Hmm.
sealing. Jamie, that might be your computer because I'm on the screen right now and I don't see that. Okay. So
Yeah.
Lance McElhaney's on too. He said, I think Jamie is smoking too much.
I was kind of gonna make the comment,
Jamie,
but I'm glad someone made it for me.
she's
It doesn't
partaking
say
right now.
FBI
That's what Lance
tracking at the
said.
bottom right on yours.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Mine's got a little red
Outstanding.
blinking thing there.
Outstanding answer, Kurt. Next question we got for you. We want to dive into whether weed influences your creativity in music, and do you have like a ritual that you go through before performing? And what strain, if weed does influence, what strain do you find better for your creative process?
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Good questions,
Ritual
right?
before a show. Yeah, no, those are good.
Hmm.
So I've noticed that when you first start doing shows, I had a ritual. I would want like, my favorite drink, which is like a ginger beer or something. I'd eat something light, like sushi, every time because I didn't want to be all
Ginger
bogged
beer.
down. Yeah,
Hey, shout
salad,
out to
something
ginger beer,
light.
bro. Shout out.
I'm obsessed
Hell yeah.
with that stuff. Wish I had one right now. I forgot mine, but so I was super into that, and like I would
Yep.
also want like no stress that day. I'd be like, no one, don't fuck with me. I want to have like a bad day before I do a show. But after
Yeah. Yeah.
shows or something like that, I realize I'm like, I just I get on stage. I don't really care. And when you start touring, you realize you don't have time or the independence to do what your ritual is. You just got off the road,
Yeah.
set up your shit, get on the fucking stage, get off the stage, get so it kind of goes away. But as far as strains go, uh, you know, I still like the old school strains, like the Northern Lights and stuff like that. I'm not too picky on the whole indica stuff. Uh, they all do the same. Woods, less travel. So, but how about
Okay.
you? How about you? Do you have what's your favorite strain, man?
I'm a sativa man. That's what I am. Just because uh, my mom, part of me comes from Jamaica, part of me comes from Africa. So I love to
Okay.
work. If you know the stereotypes with West Indians and Africans, we have like all the jobs. I work probably pull like 16 to 20-hour days of work, and but I do be getting anxiety like a motherfucker. So I don't
Yeah.
like
Oh,
to like sleep. I just like sativa because it's like, it keeps me about my wits and it keeps me relaxed. I'm with my homeboy, one of the hosts of the show, Reed. He smoked with me once and he passed out. He's like, damn, this is what you smoke? I said, all the time, bro. When you see me, best believe I just smoke because, I kind of needed to get through the day. If not, I'm looking at exits. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm thinking about people blowing up. I'm thinking about gunfights and all that. When I smoke, like you said, I'm able to focus on my company, focus on building my business, focus on building a nonprofit that I'm a co-founder of. So, man, thank you for that question. Ain't nobody asked me ain't nobody ever asked me if I'm a sativa or indica man, nothing like that. But
yeah.
you know why? Yeah, it's
That's
important to
cool.
know because
Cool,
there's
man.
a lot of people that love indica, and shout out to those people, but I'm not one of them because I don't like going to sleep, bro. I don't. Okay. So we got another question for you.
Yeah.
You ready? Okay, I got you breaking up a little bit. I got you breaking up just a little. Can you hear me now?
I can. I can hear you.
Perfect, perfect. I'm getting a little bit
Yep.
of lag on. Okay, okay. What we're gonna ask the next question. This is peeling back the veil a little bit, talking about behind the scenes of metal touring. Are you ready for that? Oh, we you guys we lost Kurt for a little bit. Oh, he's back. I was gonna tell y'all a whack knock knock joke.
Here. I'm
Thanks
good.
for
I'm
coming back.
good.
I was about to tell them a knock knock joke. All right, so moving into moving into the next question, man. I would like to know when it comes to behind the scenes of touring in the metal band. I want to get into some wild stories from life on the road. Anything crazy happen? Like you ever walk into a room and see Puff Daddy and be like, I gotta get the hell out the room, or like what's the craziest tour experience? What's the craziest tour experience you had so far?
So the closest thing to a Diddy story. No. So we've been on stage and doing our thing. We get off stage. This is kind of just random, but it kind of reminded me of it. We get off, and all the staff is kind of pissed off at us, and we're like, "What's going on?" We're like, "What the fuck is like the fucking everyone's kind of being a dick," and this fucking guy and this girl kind of come up to us and they're like, "Hey, we just want to let you know we broke up a giant orgy in the bathroom during your guys' set." And I'm like it's our fucking like we started it or something like that. And it's like, oh man, I, I'm like, I think that's awesome, but that's not my problem. I can see how you're not too happy about having to break it up. I mean, but blaming the band on that's a little rough. I mean, I don't know if I could take credit for it. So, but
So
for the
they
most,
broke
yeah,
up a giant orgy.
in the bathroom, and then got mad at us like we fucking started it. We're like, I mean, we don't even play romantic music. It must have been like a very aggressive orgy, just a really rough, lot of leather and bad smells.
That
But
makes the next question even more interesting. How do you break up an aggressive orgy? Is it like disconnecting Legos? Like how they
I
do
mean,
that? Like,
I would. I mean, I don't know if you have a hose handy, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I imagine you'd need a few different people grabbing arms and legs. And
one person grabbing one person.
personally,
Let's
I let
disconnect.
it just ride
Unplug.
out.
Yeah, they gonna be done
If
pretty
I worked
soon.
at that place, I'd walk in there, pretend I didn't see shit, just fucking spin right out and be like, all right, man. Go up to one of the
Bro,
fucking wares. Hey, man, we're gonna need a mop up in aisle 3 here in about an hour.
that's what I'm thinking, bro, because um if it's
Uh,
I got no problem with naked women, but uh no shout out to the LGBTQ IA questionings. That ain't my
no
bag.
devil's triangle for this guy, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Unless you're a lesbian, I am a closeted lesbian. I'm a strong lesbian. I always say that. But
I have a
other than
lot in
that,
common with them. I have
I
a lot in
do.
common with them. Yeah.
I love boobies. And I love the other stuff too. So
But shout
no,
out to
no,
being all inclusive too, because
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. We love
everyone,
everybody. Let
none
your
of my
freak flag
business.
fly.
Yep.
Whatever you do in the confines of your four walls, that's up to you. But I'm gonna let you know if I see a dick, I'm leaving. I don't want no dicks around me. No undressed penises around
I was
me.
gonna
So I'm
say
not
there's
breaking up
like a
no.
clothing to dick radius where yeah, if there is no
Yeah.
clothes, man, I don't even fucking do the locker room shit. I'm like, nah, man, I'll fucking wait. I'll figure it out. There's a stall in there. I'll get my bathing suit on in there. Man,
Bro,
yeah, fucking. I don't know. I didn't do a lot of sports either, so I was able to skip the locker room situation
yeah.
altogether. So I'm extra like I don't know what's going on here. This ain't my fucking problem.
I've seen
So,
more than my share fair of naked Marines. I
you have
you
to,
know
right?
I even saw two. We were in the showers in boot camp, and these two guys that got into it when we was drilling on drill field, and the spillover carried over to the showers. So we're all naked in the showers, and they square up chest to chest like they're about to fight. So I'm like, "Yo, y'all both butt naked. Come on, man. We
Yeah,
ain't trying to do this." So they looked down, they looked around, and they walked away. Save me from being
that
mentally
should
scarred.
stop a fight. I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
personally, even if I'm about to fight, If a motherfucker strips down naked, I'm done. I'm gone. I'm like, you just won that fight, bro. I'm out.
Yeah. Me and
Get
you
you
is the
naked.
same
I'll just run
people.
away from that naked motherfucker.
Butt naked, and doodoo. Those are
Yeah.
two things that I'm not fighting. You can have that.
Yep. Yep.
You can even
Yep.
insult my mama, but if you're naked or got shit all over you, hey, I guess we gonna roll with them insults.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be really mad from far away.
Yeah. I might throw rocks, but you might start running. In that case, all right. Let's read some of these comments. We got we got Lance McElhaney. Lance, you and Jamie need to get a room. He trying to hit on her. He's like, Jamie, big hugs. Um, Chris Davey said sativa or indica, probably misspelled, for PTSD. So he's recommending sativa or indica for PTSD, which is true. I know a lot of my buddies that take their dubage because it's better than drinking. Now, on that, I am drinking my Tanqueray, my gin and tonic. I am drinking that, but it's a special day, man. It's a very special day. My buddy Reed got me a gift that Marines love, so. And then we got Lance McElhaney. He said, "I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian." Okay, okay. Kurt, you ready to move on to the next question?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Okay.
And cheers, by the way.
Oh, cheers. Saludo. So next question, I want you to compare the energy of a mosh pit to the chill vibes of a smoke session. Because I every time I smoke, I'm definitely not trying to fight. Every time I smoke or drink, I'm trying to find some females. That's what I'm actually trying to do. But I know a mosh pit is the polar opposite of chilling. So how do I want you to compare the energy of both.
So you're not wrong by they're pretty polar opposites. I think the only thing they have in common is they take a lot of people, or they can or
Yeah.
whatever. It is hard, and I think that it is hard to mosh when you're really high. There's no line to that. That's, but I will say also it is a high. There's an adrenaline
Hmm.
rush. It's kind of like
Hmm.
it's just like pre-workout where you get your blood flowing and stuff like that. And usually it's a very friendly kind of thing. There's a lot of pushing, kind of shoving, and some elbows. But like I said, I don't like the fists flying and stuff. So it's a lot of circle pit running. You know what I mean? And especially now in my older age, I used to do more when I was younger, but that's where I get my energy out a lot of the time. And like I said, it's a big, we know we're doing something right when people are moshing around.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it just shows that it's mostly the drums and the beat and the pace is so fast that it's infectious to do so. Smoking, a smoke sesh, that's usually the before and after. Everyone's
Okay.
steaming in the cool. It's 110 degrees inside of the pit. Then
Yeah.
you get out to the smoke place, and we're all steaming off. That's where the smoke sesh usually comes in. Personally, I'm smoking all the time, so it doesn't affect me that as much.
Me
My
too,
energy
brother.
level's always a pretty baseline. Yeah. I feel like eventually, the more you
Yeah.
smoke, the more it just kind of blurs together. Uh, and yeah, yeah. But they both, and there is a high to the moshing and being on stage. It's its own high. So I think that's another connection between the two. Is they both can elevate your awareness quite a bit.
Bro, hell yeah. We got some comments, but before we get to the comments, I want to dive into that a little bit. Talk to me about the feeling, the surreal feeling about being on stage and performing in front of hundreds, thousands of millions, bro. Talk to me about that. What's that like?
Well, I wish I knew. No, I'm just joking. But I will say, being in front of anybody is great, but it does amplify the more people there are, especially if they're into it, obviously. Um, there's actually nothing quite like it. So, I just lost a couple of people. I lost my grandma and my stepdad like last month
God, God,
and was on tour.
God bless the dead. Yeah.
100%. That's just a very good, example of one of the times where you're just not in a good place. You can also be
Mhm.
sick. You can also be, just angry, pissed off, whatever. All these emotions can be going through your head, and you might not even want to go on stage. But for me, anyway, the second I'm up there, it all goes away. There's no
Mhm.
stress. There's no sadness. There's no anger. It's all
Mhm.
becomes music, and music's so enjoyable, and that's what becomes quite addictive about it too. Like, it's almost like a drug. Imagine a drug that could take away all your pain, all your sadness, because you could literally be hurting and go on stage, and your adrenaline, your neck don't hurt no more, your back don't hurt no more, you're not thinking about all the sad shit. You got happy people screaming at you. It's the
Hell
problem
yeah.
is it's so addictive, and it's irreplaceable. You can't replace it with a lot of things. That's why I'm guessing a lot of older musicians and performers turn to drugs like heroin and all that horrible stuff. Is because they're chasing a high that you really can only get one way, and it's
Mhm.
adrenaline. I'm sure it's kind of like a skydiver or something gets the same kind of feeling. Although you'd have to kick me out of a plane.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. No, that's facts, bro. Like my drug that I was addicted to for a while was Jamaicans call it pum pum, and Africans call it tutu, and Americans call it vagina. I was addicted to that drug for a minute because I got
what's that
seven
shit we
daughters,
used to get
so
back in the day?
I
Ah, yeah.
got seven
Which I
kids,
call
bro. They're
bullshit.
all
Anyone who
daughters.
says they're addicted to that, that's just being. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just so hardwired in me. I'm like, isn't everybody? Fuck,
I, I,
but
I, I went back for second, thirds, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. I'm still going back for
yeah.
most. So, yeah, that's.
You know what? I like
But
that so much tonight. I'm gonna have it every night for the rest of my life.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Every time my ex used to ask me what I wanted to eat, I'd be like, so. But that's amazing, bro. Because in combat, I tell people that's the highest I've ever felt, and we weren't on no supplements there, but the fact that at any second you could lose your life, it just had you operate in this place that a lot of people never operate in. So I get that. Thank you for sharing that, bro. That was
And
deep.
that's where
Okay, so we
sometimes people doing illegal shit. It's the same idea, robbing shit, guns and shit,
yeah,
running it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that shit can get addictive too, and it's fucked up. And especially when you're with your boys. Same with military stuff. You're with your homies. It's
Hmm.
a connection thing, adrenaline thing. There's so much going on to it, and that's why people like fucking roller coasters and driving fast and all that shit. We're hardwired for intense shit,
Adrenaline.
which is,
Yeah.
I think, unfortunate because we do take it out in some negative ways too. So,
It's funny
but
when you say
it is,
roller coaster. I was married for 15 years, and being married to my ex-wife was like being on a roller coaster you can't get off for 15 years. There was
yeah,
ups, there was downs, and it was scary as hell. So, um, let's read some of these comments,
yeah.
and then we got
I
a we
had
got a few
eight
more
years
questions.
myself. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
bro, so you did some time as well. We're gonna read some of these questions
yeah, yeah.
and or some of these comments, and then we're gonna move on to the next line of questioning. So we got Lance Malcolm. He said he's a vegetarian. Jamie said he was just trying to. When he said he was sweet on Jamie, Jamie said he was just apologizing for saying she smokes because she's straight edge. Chris David, he asked what's recommended out of indica or sativa. Chris, I recommend sativa because I work like a one-legged prostitute outside a military base. I get my work in, and it's hard to work when you're sleeping. I noticed that indica puts me to sleep, but sativa, I can go on about my day and just be calm and even keeled. We got Jamie. She said mosh pit is zen because it expends your energy. I like that. Um, we got Bob Gibson. He said Chris Davy. Oh no, we got Chris Davy. He said Tor is a legit combat veteran, proud to serve with him. Hey, thank you, Chris. All I did was sign a contract, but thank you. And Bob said he got a question for you, Venom. He said, "What is your opinion on the Pantera tribute tour these past few years?"
My opinion on that, not a positive one, unfortunately. not a terrible one. So anyone not up to it, Pantera, metal band, started with
Mm-hmm.
two brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and then had other band members come in. They broke up, never did shows again. Both the brothers started it, and all the people who
Damn.
joined have reignited it. So I'm like, it's kind of like anytime when it's like a band with no original members type thing. It's more like a tribute
Yeah,
band
yeah,
featuring members.
yeah.
So if they advertised it like that, I'd be fine. I just don't like the whole. Also, fucking Pantera. Growing up, I loved them, and I had my friend who was a Mexican kid, my best friend, but like straight up, like his parents were like immigrants and stuff, probably illegal and shit. And great guy, but Pantera has a lot of rebel flags and shit on their merchandising. And so my homie would walk around with
Whoa.
this huge rebel flag, and he's this Mexican kid, and I'd be like, something don't feel right here. I don't.
No.
I am a personal. I don't like that flag or what it represents. It's a failed war. You know what I mean? Like, why are you wearing the losing team? Like, has some
uh,
racial priorities that don't align with my own. So,
Venom, I
fuck
want to
them a
tell you
little.
something right quick. I want to tell you something real quick. I hate the rebel flag so much. I bought the toilet paper so I could wipe my ass with the rebel flag. I really did that. I bought it on Amazon just so I could wipe my ass with the rebel flag. So I
I
feel you when you
mean,
say that.
and I know people from the South who love their heritage or whatever, and they don't rep that shit.
Hmm.
They understand
Hmm.
that shit represents fucking so much bad shit. And
Hmm.
like I said, so Pantera, and they're from the South. They're from Louisiana. They're fucking Southern boys. And I'm like, you know what? I just and that's a great example of a band that's amazing, an amazing band full of talent that I want nothing to do with.
Yeah, facts.
So
Facts.
you gotta
Hell yeah.
align what you believe in with everything else. I feel like so,
Hell yeah, Venom.
but great
Okay,
band
great
anyway.
answer. Great fucking answer. We're gonna move on now.
You too. You had the best answer to that one, man. I love that.
Well, I'm not a. I'm a immigrant. I came from Africa, and I used to come back and forth before 5 years old, and then when I was like 4 years old, my country went into a civil war, the country I was born in. So then I got stuck in America, and I'm a citizen of America now. I got dual citizenship, but growing up as an African kid, growing up as an immigrant, I used to get the shit kicked out of me by racist and prejudiced people because at the time, the politics was don't let immigrants over here; they're going to ruin the country. So, yeah, I feel a little bit different
Where
about.
at? Where at did you when you came to America? Where were you?
I first went to New York
State.
for a year. I was in Brooklyn for a year, New York, Brooklyn for a year, and then after that, I went to Iowa, and then I found myself growing up in Sacramento, California. Um, but Sacramento, the city's nice, but the county has its spots of people that fucking hate immigrants. So when I was 8 years old, I got stomped out by three older boys on the bus, and they were calling me a nigger, African booty scratcher. They're telling me I do voodoo. I mean, they beat the shit out of me, bro. I fought back as best as I could, but it was 3-on-1. So I just have a different opinion because I see history repeating itself and everything. But we try to stay away from politics on this because politics is religion, just like martial arts is religion for some people, and they swear by their martial arts. Let's get into the next question. We got questions based on being a grower. What got you into growing? I want you to talk a little bit about your experience as a cannabis grower.
Okay, okay. Now that's a good segue. No, but so growing, I'm from Denver, born and raised, pretty much
Hmm.
downtown Denver. I had never ventured far, and it's always kind of been a big thing in the culture here, even before it was legal. And
Wow.
so I would always buy tons and tons of the Mexican brickweed, just with the
Yeah.
seeds and stems and stuff.
Yeah.
And then at one point in time, we had a family friend. So my parents knew a family friend divorced and married this guy, and he started buying some weed. He was crying. He was like, "What we know now." Like, but it's really bad. It had names. It I was buying it from he and I mean I had to be like 14 maybe at this time. Got into it quite. My parents were selling pot. It was always around and never looked as a taboo thing. Never looked as like a drug. Appreciate now, but so
Yeah.
I was into it then even, and
Yeah.
at some point we realized that he was the one growing the weed we were buying, and we were like, we got to figure it out. And I was lucky enough that he was able to do this. And this had to be, so this is about, I'd say 2001, 2002. So 20 years ago, way before
Mm.
legalization, way before all that. And he took us to his backyard, and it was all yuppie and nice and rich. And, you know, you walk over the little bridge over the koi pond into this giant shed, and he just had fields growing in these exact same pots as this. I'm still using the same pots 20 years later.
Mm.
Of hydro, and it just blew our minds. And slowly but surely, back then, I started growing plant, and then 2 plants, and 3 plants. And
Mm.
back then, you could make a living off of it. It was a hot commodity. Where nowadays, you know, there's so much pot in Denver and any legal state, and everyone can just go to the store. That it's kind of
Dispensary.
lost
Yeah.
its bad. You know, it's more of a hobby now. But I don't know, man. Pot. I think pot that I found pots a lot. There's been a lot of hard drugs. I lost my father at
Mm.
17 to hard drugs, and
Rest in peace.
and both my parents were into it. So I kind of I feel like when you see that in your parents or your friends or something, you have like two options: either you do it and emulate them, or you learn the lesson from them and you avoid it at all costs. And I just thought how safe pot was, and you know, saw Cheech and Chong and all those guys making fun of it because it's so light. And
Yeah.
you know, you don't see people with like needles on their shirts and shit because they're not proud of it, and it's something to be ashamed of. But you see pot leaves on everything because stoners are down for it. So,
Where the proud
so
meth heads at, man?
and I mean, you see them once in a blue moon, but you wonder what the it's a fucking strange thing to see.
You mean ain't nobody with crystals on their license plate or on the bumper stickers? Bro, you're funny, man. Okay, let's read some of these comments, and then we went a little bit over on the interview. Interview was supposed to be 40
Oh
minutes.
shit!
We're at the 50-minute mark, but I'm having a good ass time. And we got to have you back
No
on the show
man,
with the
man, I love
actual
you.
hosts, because the actual hosts are
Oh, whatever, man. You're doing awesome.
Anthony,
I'm happy to be
Reed,
here.
and yeah, man. But I'm trying to keep a filter, so I won't say nothing crazy, because I'm crazy as
I'm
hell.
glad I
So
caught
let's
you then.
let's read some of these comments.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got Lance McElhaney saying that we should move to Mississippi, considering the Confederate flag, the rebel flag. Lance McElhaney said that your computer caught contact high because we had a little bit of lag there. Um, Chris Davey told Lance to give some weed a chance. And then we got Arlene. Hey, Arlene, what's up? She's watching from the Philippines. So we got
Oh,
viewership in Philippines, Germany, where else? Australia. So we got some viewers from all over the world. Arlene, glad to have you on the show. Please put an at highlight Arlene on the show so that all your followers can see the show. I'm just typing that to her. Okay, so next question, man. Or we're done with questions. It's time to move into our game show section. So, a recurring theme that we have on the show is game shows. We run three different game shows and we theme it out for the guests. So, our first game show is going to be bad news advice. That's for us to give our funniest bad news to certain scenarios that go down. Then we have hypothetical hijinks. That's a chance for you to redeem your soul by actually talking about what you would do in a hypothetical situation. And then for you, Venom, we have we have the top three heavy metal songs according to heavymetal.org. We're gonna rename the song and give you something similar to it. And from our renaming, you have to guess what song it is. So you're welcome to play, and then all of you guys in the comments is welcome to play too. We're gonna make sure that we keep this going. So the first game, hypothetical hijinks, or sorry,
All
first
right.
game, bad news advice. The worst advice wins. It is a game show, so if we reach over 1,000 views, whoever commented, whoever responded to the bad news, they're gonna get a smoking and joking coffee mug. All right, so let's see. Bad news advice. All right, so the first scenario. Uh, I joined a metal band, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I told them I play the guitar, but I don't play the guitar. The closest thing I've ever played is a bottle of baby oil. When I went to my first show, I saw P. Diddy in the mosh pit, and the band told me to get off stage because I didn't play any instruments. What's your advice on what I should do, Venom? Oh, we lost him. We lost him. We lost him. We got to go through that again. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie said I lost my guess. And remember, you guys, at highlight, all of your friends will be able to see this video. All your friends will be able to see the shenanigans that goes on. And if we don't have them come back on in the next 3 minutes, then I guess we're just gonna wrap up the show. Um, but while waiting for him to come back on, guys, Lance, I'm not getting naked. There's not enough money y'all could pay me. No, I say get naked. But while we're waiting for him to come back on, we're going to run some commercials. So the first commercial has been brought to you by our show sponsor, Anthony Charpentier from AMCJ Fitness. If you're looking to shed a few extra pounds, if you're looking to have a healthier quality of life, if you're looking to get into figure competitive competitions, or if you're looking to win a trophy in a sport of your choice, please reach out to Anthony Charpentier Jr. at amcjfitness at gmail.com. Anthony couldn't be with us right now because he is one of the victims of, or he's not a victim, but he's one of the people that live in the hurricane, the stage 5 hurricane that's hit Florida. So you guys, make sure you donate to the nonprofit organizations that are out there helping hurricane victims. Our next commercial is by vet365.org. If you're a service disabled veteran and you think that America forgot about you, Vet365 didn't forget about you. Vet365, we only take the leap year off, meaning we're going to help you every day. We have a free business development program for service disabled veterans. We have a grocery program. We have a frequent flyer miles program. We have a housing program. And Smoking and Joking is produced by Vet365. Vet365.org, that's VETS 365.org. And if you have an idea or you want to do something that helps disabled veterans, but you don't want to start a nonprofit, we will allow you to leverage our nonprofit status to accomplish your mission to help service disabled vets. Our next commercial is put on by RTS. Y'all see the double pyramids. Y'all see the double pyramids all around. Look, double pyramids. What pyramids mean? It means building up to a point. It means ascension. It means going up. So RTS will help you make more money selling your products and services to a new customer, the United States government. They do $9.3 trillion every year in contracting. If you're a small business or you're a big business, you can access that money. So reach out to yesrts.com. That's yesrts.com so that we can get you money in your pockets. Take it from me. I make a lot of money doing what I do, managing selling products and services to the United States government. And we want to help you do it because the more small businesses there are in the United States government, that means that the United States government is more prosperous because they're taxing the small businesses and the employees of the small businesses are getting taxed as well. Our last and final commercial has been Dare Essentials Beauty. Dare Essentials Beauty, ran by Ralphine Connie. She's one of the hosts of the show. Ralphine Connie couldn't be here today. She's on vacation along with DeMarcus Reed. They
Yep.
ain't on vacation together, but they're on
Hey.
vacation. And if you want to Hey, I'm just going through the commercial right now. Last commercial, Dairy Essentials Beauty. Dairy Essentials Beauty at gmail.com. Dairy Essentials Beauty on IG. Ain't nothing wrong with painting up the barn if it needs paint. Ladies, ain't nothing wrong with getting beautified if you need beautified. Guys, ain't nothing wrong with getting them hair implants if you need implants. Make sure you're happy with what you see in the mirror, not what other people see, because you can only see what you see in the mirror through your eyes. Reach out to Dairy Central Beauties, another sponsor of the Smoking and Joking Show. Okay, so we're done with that. Glad to have you back on, Venom. We're gonna get back to these questions after these comments. We got Lance, he told me to get naked while you was gone. That ain't gonna happen unless you got $1 billion. Lance said that was advice. Okay, that was his advice for the game. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the game. So the game is you told a metal band you can play the guitar. You can't play the guitar. You show up, all you got is baby oil and ditties in the mosh pit. What do you do?
Can't.
Bad advice, all bad advice.
Yeah, man, it's naked one. It is right on your knees across the stage, a bunch of baby oil, get the stage, and then do the flying knees onto the stage so you just kind of slide out on the stage. I think that would make a strong entrance at that. They might forget that you can't play the guitar. Hopefully you can stretch that out for like 30 minutes or so. Diddy will be entertained.
There's like a 60-second window where baby oil is impressive because everything's shiny, but after that minute, you're like, all right, what is we doing here? Great answer. Let's read some of the answers from the comments. Lance McElhaney, his bad advice is always to get naked. We got
which is almost always nice.
Lance said again, find the biggest person. He said, find the biggest person there and punch them in the mouth. That's horrible advice. That is horrible advice, Lance McElhaney. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next scenario. Um, you walk into your grower, your grower building, and for some reason, all the plants can talk. Little Shop of Horror style. What do you do now?
Bad advice. Let's
Yeah.
see. I say, I mean, tell them the truth.
Oh, so we lost some guys. Didn't come back, and I think we got bad reception over there. I think the hurricane made it over to Colorado. So we're wrapping up on the show. We got about 2 more minutes. I want to thank all of you guys that are watching the show. I want to thank all of you guys that return every week to catch the show and to comment on the show. This is show 46. It's been a huge undertaking. It's not just me producing the show. There's me and Bob, and then we have a lot of contributors that are also combat veterans. When we decided to go live with the show in February, we reached out to the big bros like Roy Thomas. We reached out to the little bros like Freddie Navicastro, big bros like Marvin and Dito and Chris McIntosh and all of them. And they showed up for the first episode. And this is an Echo 2-4 offering through Vet 365. A lot of y'all don't know McIntosh, Christopher McIntosh. He's my senior Marine, and we was on post in 2004 in Ramadi, Iraq. And we had tape recorder, and that was the first episode of Smoking and Joking that we ever recorded. And it was hilarious. I mean, I was crying laughing that night. And sometimes that's what we need. Don't take yourself too seriously, y'all. Sometimes you got to be able to laugh at yourself. I laugh at myself daily because if we don't laugh, we gonna cry. So, hey Venom, thank you for joining us again. We got a little bit of lag with you. We're coming up on the close of the show. We're just gonna give you about a minute to say your final words, and then we're gonna close out the show. So it's on you, brother.
All right, thank you. Sorry about all the ins and outs of the reception
It's
here.
okay.
And then my phone
Yeah.
overheated. I had to put it in the freezer to cool it down. So you were in my freezer for a minute. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Anybody out there with all the weather and shit going on, all the best
Yeah.
to you. So let's start with that. All the people on the
Yeah.
other side of the world right now getting shit on, all the best to
Hmm.
you. And yeah, man, uh, check out some of my stuff. I have a YouTube channel, Venom420.
Everything is
Yeah,
down
go
below.
check all that out. You have all this good stuff down here, all the links,
Hmm.
Condemned to Burn. We'd love to have the band on sometime and chat with you guys.
Hell yeah.
I'll get the whole crew down here.
Hell yeah. And then
So,
if possible,
uh,
y'all could probably do like a 5 minute set so we can hear your music. We would
oh,
love that.
you know it. You know it.
Hell
So
yeah,
I hope to
yeah,
see you
yeah.
guys again. And like I said, I'm glad I caught you, man. Fucking, I really dig you. This was a great time. Yeah, thank you to everybody watching. Be sure to subscribe, Smoking and Joking. And yeah, man,
Hey,
words of wisdom. Be excellent to each other.
be
So,
excellent, my friends. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. That's another episode of Smoking and Joking. Y'all take care. Remember to love each other. Remember to laugh and smoke it if you got it. This is Theo Tor, your guest host with Venom, Curtis Mitchell. And you guys, please support what he's doing. I used to run a metal music support.